What purchase of $100 or less has positively impacted your life in the last few months or recent memory? That's the question Tim Ferriss asks all of his guests on his famous podcast, The Tim Ferriss Show. A ton of his interviews are summarized in this book, Tribe of Mentors. I'll leave a link below if you're interested. Well, this made me think about the best purchases I have made in my own life. It's sometimes nice to sit back and reflect on what has really improved your life. It's important to know which item is serving you and which one is taking away from you. But I couldn't come up with anything under $100. So instead, today, without a price limit, I want to talk about 7 things that are in my life and has definitely improved it. The first one is Fitbit. I have had a Fitbit for almost a decade now. I have a Charge 5 right now and I had a different model before this one. You know how people new to fitness make excuses that, oh, I need new running shoes if I'm going to start running, or I need a new workout pair if I'm going to the gym. Well, that was Fitbit for me. I bought this when I first joined the gym. I've been working out on and off for over a decade now, and in all of that time I lost about 70 pounds, I gained 20 of it in the last 5 years, and lost almost 18 pounds in the last 6 months alone. In all of these transformations, this Fitbit has been a great reality check. You know the saying, you can't improve what you can't measure. There have been many days where it's almost noon and the Fitbit vibrates and tells me that I have only had 1,000 steps so far. That's a great reality check that tells you that you are not really as active as you think you are. Even with an hour-long lifting session and a 30-minute treadmill walk, I can't hit my 10,000 steps. I have to make an additional effort at work or after I'm home from work. This is how I think that this Fitbit is changing my life. It's a good reality check. The next one is the Calm app. Calm is a meditation app on Android and iOS. There are different subscription plans that it comes with. I remember paying $15 a month, but there was a sale going on where I could pay $250 for a lifetime subscription. This app has hundreds of hours of guided meditation covering anxiety, stress, sleep, focus, and much more. It even has exclusive music tracks for focus, relaxation, and sleep. Plus, in any of these sessions, you can have a background sound called scenes that you can select while meditating. You can select from lakes, rainfalls, waterfalls, calm river, fireplace, tropical beach, thunderstorm, and many, many more. It even has a huge library of sleep stories. So, why meditation? To be honest, I had not meditated even once in my life until 2020. But then something happened where it led to me and my wife meditating at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the middle of the night just because we couldn't sleep. That's definitely a story for another time, but that's why I say that meditating has really changed my life. It actually gives you the ability to control your mind when anxiety and/or depression takes over. It makes you feel things. I'll say one thing. I have been trying to be more productive in the past few years. I've been trying to sleep more than 7 hours a day, read more books, trying to work out consistently. But if you want to pick just one good thing for yourself, for your sanity, I would say get into meditating. It will change your life. Trust me on this. And do not wait until you need it. The next one is a Kindle. If you have subscribed to my channel or if you know me personally, you know that this has to be on this list. It's hands down the best investment I've ever made in my life. I carry this around everywhere. This goes in my backpack whenever I visit my parents over the weekend. It has been my companion when sitting in hospital emergency waiting rooms. It has gone with me on every vacation I've been on. Honestly, I have read so many books just because it is so convenient and lightweight. It allows me to read at night without turning the light on because it has a dark mode. It allows me to carry multiple books and have the option of switching books if I'm not in the mood of picking my current read. I can switch to a different one in an instant. The buying experience of Kindle books is so frictionless. Instead of ordering a physical book online or going to a store, if I find a book on any of my Facebook or Instagram pages, I can just go to the Kindle store and have it ready to read in just a few seconds. Plus, being a Prime member, I already have a good rotating catalog of free books. Outside of this, there are so many books that just go on sale for 99 cents or $1, $2, $3. It's amazing. So before we go any further, I would say that pause this video if possible and think about the purchases that have changed your life, and do not put a price limit on it. In this Tim Ferriss Show, all of his guests mention all types of purchases like a yoga mat, a coffee maker. Someone mentioned a travel backpack because they travel a lot. Someone who's an artist said that an Apple Pencil changed his life because he was able to draw so much more on his iPad now. Ali Abdul did a similar video like this where he talked about having a water bottle because that allowed him to measure his water intake. A guest on Tim Ferriss Show said that he carries a picture frame of his parents because they are his heroes. So he carries that frame anywhere he goes. So that's why I say that don't limit yourself when you think about this list. Really sit back and reflect and see what has really changed your life in the last couple of months or even years. Anyways, let's get back into the video. The next one is this daily Stoic book. I have many books on my Kindle and on my physical bookshelf, but this is the book that I go to every day. To a point that I keep it on my kitchen island just so that I can remind myself to go to it before I start my day. This book is by Ryan Holiday, one of the best authors on Stoicism in this century. He is actually very well known for the way he summarizes the knowledge of the ancient Stoics from 3000 years ago and brings them to 21st century. If you want to dip your toes into the world of Stoicism, I would recommend this book. It is a 366-page book to be read one page a day, and that summarizes the insights and exercises of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and other Stoic philosophers. The reason I read this book every day is because it acts as a daily reminder, one anecdote a day that acts like a self-development tip that you can utilize throughout your day. Sometimes if I'm too busy or if I forget to read it before I leave my house, I keep a copy of it on my phone's Kindle app as well as my actual Kindle, so I can catch up on today's lesson or tip of the day. It's actually an amazing experience to listen to him when he gives his knowledge and wisdom on different topics like relationships, human behaviors, and life in general. I really recommend that you listen to his interviews on Tom Bilyeu's and Rich Roll's podcast. I will leave the link below in the description. I really think that he's one of the greatest philosophers of our time, and that's why whatever he writes, it's an instant buy for me. The next one is Sonos One. There are many speakers out there that can do this exact job, but I happened to buy this 5 years ago and now I'm a fan. The biggest use I have of this is at night when I sleep. I am not a fan of sleeping in pure silence, and that's why I have either ocean waves or thunderstorm or rainforest rain playing throughout the night. I actually got my wife Komal hooked onto this as well. And honestly, I feel like we are at a point where if I hear ocean waves playing on my Sonos, I subconsciously think that it's time to sleep. I just find it super relaxing. Some prefer white noise, some prefer rainforest. I prefer ocean wave sounds. The next one is Audible subscription. For the longest time, I was not a fan of audiobooks. I always thought that I am reading much faster than the narrators of these audiobooks. But then after listening to a few books like Will Smith's Will and Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership, I realized that audiobooks are not just about reading. It has a different experience to it. I actually talk about a lot of the benefits of audiobooks in a video I recently did. I'll leave the link somewhere up here. It's like listening to someone's experience in person. It's like an interview. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, you can read Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, but isn't it better if you hear it directly from him in his southern accent?
I think I'll write a book. Help the generations with the truth about the past. Who's to say one would agree? Shit, I'm tired.
I really think that in the last year, I have really made my driving interesting and fun. Not just memoirs or productive books, but if you listen to murder mysteries like The Murderer's Son or Their Lost Daughters or His and Hers, you will know that some narrators do such a good job in engaging you. Honestly, using an Audible subscription has really increased the amount of reading I do on a weekly basis. Now I'm listening to it while driving, making breakfast, cleaning. Any downtime I get, I put my headphones on. And that takes me to the last item, my tattoo. It's really a good reminder on a daily basis whenever I feel like shit throughout the day, or if I'm just sitting on the couch being lazy after a normal day of work, if I don't want to record my next YouTube video, or if I haven't even reached my 10,000 steps goal for the day, then just reading this is a nice kick in the butt. That's the main reason I have it in this location of my arm, so that I can read through it multiple times a day. Whenever I procrastinate, most of the time the excuses are I'm really tired, or I'm not feeling too good right now, or I deserve a break after a long day at work. At that time, this tattoo is a good reminder that anybody who is successful, anybody who's trying to make something of themselves, they are never lazy. They just get up and do what needs to be done. Nobody cares that you are tired. Nobody cares that you have something going on in your life. Your life could be an utter dump and still nobody would care. If something needs to be done, you just get up and do it. This last one really got too deep. Anyways, these are the 7 things that really changed my life. I know these are not under $100 like Tim Ferriss always asks on his podcast, but I just got my own version out of this. If you made it this far into the video, I really want you to reflect and tell me in the comments below what has changed your life so far. I'm really interested. Let me know. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.